In 2013, a man walked to his local garbage dump in Newport, Wales. He had a small hard drive in his hand. He looked at it for a second, thought about it, and threw it in the trash. That hard drive had 8,000 Bitcoin on it. Today, that's worth over $750 million. And the worst part? He knows exactly which landfill it's buried in. He just can't get to it. My name is Ryan Cole, and this is Accidental Billions. Let's talk about James Howells. James Howells wasn't a tech genius. He wasn't some Silicon Valley millionaire with a team of engineers. He was a regular IT worker, living in Newport, Wales. In 2009, James heard about something called Bitcoin. At the time, nobody cared about Bitcoin. It had zero real value. You couldn't buy anything with it. You couldn't sell it for real money. It was essentially a science experiment running on the internet. A digital currency that a mysterious person, or group, called Satoshi Nakamoto had invented just 1 year earlier. And in 2009, the only way to get Bitcoin was to mine it, which basically meant leaving your computer running, solving complex mathematical problems, and getting rewarded with Bitcoin. So James did exactly that. He set up his laptop, left it running, and over several weeks, he mined 8,000 Bitcoin, which at the time was worth almost nothing. We're talking fractions of a penny per coin. 8,000 Bitcoin was worth maybe a few dollars total, so James did what any normal person would do with something worthless. He stored the wallet file on his hard drive and forgot about it. Fast forward to 2013. James is cleaning out his home office. He comes across 2 old hard drives. They look identical. One is empty, just an old drive he doesn't need anymore. One has the Bitcoin wallet on it. And in a moment that still probably wakes him up at 3 a.m., he grabs what he thinks is the empty drive and throws it away. Now here's where it gets painful. Just months after James threw away that hard drive, Bitcoin exploded. The price went from a few dollars to over $1,000 per coin. James suddenly remembered his 8,000 Bitcoin. He went looking for the hard drive, checked his desk, checked his drawers, checked everywhere. And then it hit him. That moment of realization, when your stomach just drops. He had thrown away the wrong drive. His 8,000 Bitcoin, now worth over $8 million at the time, was sitting in a landfill in Newport, Wales, buried under thousands of tons of garbage. Now most people would give up, write it off as a terrible mistake, move on with their lives. Not James Howells. James contacted the Newport City Council immediately. He had a plan. He knew roughly when he threw away the drive. He knew which landfill it went to. He even calculated the approximate section of the landfill where it would be buried. His request was simple. Let me dig. The council said no. Environmental regulations prevented any excavation of the site. James came back with a better plan. He offered them a deal. Let me bring in a professional team. We'll dig carefully. We'll sort through the waste properly. And if we find the drive, I'll give the city 25% of everything. At today's Bitcoin prices, that's over $180 million for Newport City Council. They said no again. James didn't stop. Over the next several years, he came back with bigger and better proposals. He hired data recovery experts. He partnered with investors. He put together a team with AI-powered sorting technology designed specifically to find one small hard drive in 110,000 tons of garbage. And every single time, Newport City Council said no. As of today, that landfill is still closed to him. The hard drive is still there, and the Bitcoin on it is now worth over $750 million. Now I want to stop here for a second, because this story isn't really about Bitcoin. It's about something much more uncomfortable. It's about how humans assign value. In 2009, when James mined those coins, Bitcoin had no value. Nobody wanted it. Nobody used it. Nobody believed in it. So James treated it like it had no value, because to everyone alive at that moment, it didn't. And that's the terrifying thing about this story. James Howells didn't make a stupid decision. He made a completely rational decision, based on the information he had. at the time he had it. How many of us throw things away without thinking twice? Old phones, old laptops, old hard drives. Because in that moment, they feel worthless. But what if one of them isn't? The people who got rich from Bitcoin weren't necessarily smarter than James Howells. They just held on a little longer. And that's the difference between regular life and accidental billions. James Howells still lives in Wales. He still talks about that hard drive. He still believes he will find it one day. And honestly, I hope he does. Because that hard drive represents something bigger than just money. It represents every opportunity that ever felt worthless in the moment you had it. Every idea you ignored. Every investment that felt too risky. Every decision that seemed obvious only in hindsight. The hard drive is still there, right now, as you watch this video. $750 million, sitting in a landfill in Newport, Wales, waiting. My name is Ryan Cole. This was Accidental Billions. Next week, we're talking about the man who sold his entire stake in a startup for just $800. That startup? You use it every single day. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you next week.